the host. Raymond Dugue, Michael Duncan, two of our honorary humanitarian. It's real and it no bogus. Stand against those who stand against us. When situation rough and get tedious, get tedious, get tedious. Community focus, community focus. Community, yo, we have to adjust. Community focus, community focus. Ask the Almighty, Him will guide us. Community focus, community focus. Live up.
Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Marcus Garvey words come to pass. Can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh, can't get no food to eat. Can't get no money to spend. Oh. Come, little one, oh, let me do what I can for you. And you, hello. Come,
yes, brothers and sisters, greetings. Brothers and sisters, a very good evening to each and every one of you. I'm happy to join you here from the Community Focus radio program where the community meets the radio, where the radio speaks to the community. Brother Doogie, I'm just coming from soccer, straight from the soccer field, into the studios here. It's a good thing when we deal with our children, when we're teaching them what some people call soccer, but the world calls it football. And it's amazing when you see our young black children and the excitement in them, the love. I saw a five-year-old boy crying this evening, and the parents came up to him and say, that's bad sportsmanship. You're crying because the little boy lost. And to him, I told him not to blame him. I said the reason why he's crying because it means something to him. He's passionate about this. So if that's the way he's going to express himself, allow him to express himself. But we, the UNIA, another platform that we do is that we run a soccer/football program for our children. Our children, most of them believe they're learning soccer, and to a certain extent they are. However, they're learning black nationalism, they're learning race first. But the greatest thing they're seeing is that they're seeing their mothers, their fathers, their community people working on their behalf. And our children need to see those life lessons because they must know that Black people, African people can work together, can build together. So, brothers and sisters, the whole world is relying on us. And it starts with teaching our children, be it but on Saturday, we're doing the soccer program, or on Saturday, we're doing the math program. These are the things we have to instill and teach our children our culture, our way of life. Brother Dugue, good evening. And it's always nice to see you, brother. But I see you smiling. So I know it's a good thing. I know it's a great thing when you're smiling, my dear brother. It's an honor to have you here working on this platform for Race First, for ensuring that we will build that self-reliant economic base. And it must be based in Race First. Thank you and good evening. Prezi, I'm not hearing Brother Raymond. I'm not hearing Brother Raymond. Yes, Brother Raymond, I'm still not hearing you. I'm not sure if the listeners are hearing you, but I'm not hearing you. So I'll just continue until we can hear Brother Raymond. Um, Raymond. Yes, yes. President, see if you can address that thing with Brother Raymond. But brothers and sisters, the work of our people continue. Each and every one of us, we have a job to do. Brothers and sisters, this is the platform. We want to be able to reach millions of people. And of course, the program here, this platform was just created. Therefore, it's going to take us a time, a while, a long time to really build it the way it's supposed to be built and for it to be able to reach African people all over the world. But, my dear brothers and sisters, these are the most important times in the beginning stages when we need each and every one of you to play a role. So, UNIA Rock Media.com, please promote it. Please send it to your families. Please send it to your friends. Share it with them so they can listen and so they can join this platform and they can join the movement just like you, brothers and sisters. We need you to join this movement. If you haven't joined as ready, but as yet, please, now is the time. Mr. Garvey created all this for us and he sacrificed everything for us. Beautiful thing about this platform again is that we'll be able to study, we'll be able to live Black history every day. No longer do we need anyone to tell us what our culture should be. No longer no one should determine who we are and apply their names and their philosophies to us, brothers and sisters, at this platform here, ideologies and philosophies.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm able to hear you now, brother. How are you?
Okay, good. Okay, greetings, President General. Okay, I
Yes,
hope you're hearing me loud and clear.
loud and clear, brother.
Okay, before I have so much to say, but let me welcome our guest. Today is Tuesday, October 10th, 2023, and there's much to report. Before I go into some parts of the history, as soon as I saw you, President General, in your tracksuit, I'm thinking of, I know he was working out, I know he was playing soccer, but let me tell you a joke. Yesterday, I don't know if you realize I had like a sweater on and I had other clothes on. What happened was I was here doing some construction with Brother Mitch and Brother Keith. And in the old days, I used to wear my African clothes when I do construction. Then I realized I'm ruining my clothes. So whenever I have to do construction, I wear other clothes, well, Western clothes. So when my cousin saw me last night, she said, "What's going on? What happened?" I had a sweater on and I opened the sweater. I said, "No, I still have an African shirt." And so I knew I would be getting dirty. So I didn't want to ruin my African clothes. But until recently, I used to do construction, taking out the garbage, shoveling the snow in because that's all I have is African clothes. But I had to and going to the safari in April, I had to buy some safari clothes, and so that's what I use to do construction because all I have is African clothes. So when I saw you in your sweatsuit, I said, "Oh, we need to go out and make a red, black, and green sweatsuit, or a black sweatsuit with red, black, and green flag on it."
Yeah, but that's in February. We have to get enough materials and take back to Liberia or find the materials in Liberia and to make our casual wear. Oh, but so wears like the sweatsuits.
Absolutely, absolutely, President General. Okay, President General. Number one, did you get the email that I sent you from Rasta Soldier?
Now today, no, no, I didn't see it. I
No,
uh,
no, he said. Go ahead.
I was just all over the place today, from one place to the next.
Okay.
I even went out to visit the Squeeze by Patrick says Largy and Sister Keisha.
Oh,
The
how was
place,
that?
nice, very nice place, and I'm looking
Okay.
forward. Their approximate opening time is October 21st. We will not be here rather. So we're asking families and friends to go out there and support our dear brother and sister. When one of us open a business, even if we don't need anything, we just should just go there just to go buy and to give that
Yes.
business a platform to stand on. And the first couple of days, the first day, and then the first couple of weeks are very, very important, brothers and sisters.
Okay. Okay. President General. Before we get in, oh yeah, today, October 10th, 1886, in a town called Hesh in Haiti, Charlemagne Perrault is born. Charlemagne Perrault is going to be the resistant leader after the U.S. invades and occupies Haiti from 1914 to 1934. He stood strong and President General, when it looked like the whole world was against him, he told our people, you know what? It's darkest before dawn. You don't have to worry about it. And then he says, get this. Let's say we stand up and we resist and we die. He says, that's okay. We won't even know it. We'll be dead. So we should always defend and protect our people. And so he led the resistance. 19, he was a military chief and head of Leogan in the south of Haiti. When the invaders came in, it was just overwhelming force. And he, instead of co-opting or cooperating with them, he resigned and went back to his hometown. And after a while, he realized, what am I, a coward? He said, no. He organized, not the military, he organized regular peasants, teachers, housewives, farmers to stand up to the U.S. Marines. This is amazing. You're talking about tough guys, people who understand what it is to resist and care for their people. And then President General, that's 1915 they invade. 1917 he starts the resistance. Okay, what's happening in 1917? Mr. Garvey is getting ready to start the very first UNIA chapter outside of Jamaica in United States, in New York. So what do you think happens? It's because of Le Caco, the guerrilla forces, that you had UNIA come in. So it was a perfect marriage. Anyway, 1919, November 1, he sold out. This also happens to our people. And they kill him. They shoot him point blank in the heart, in the head. And then they parade his body in a door, and it looked like a crucifixion. So instead of having people be demoralized, it had the opposite effect. The resistance force continued, and eventually, what happens is that was November 1919. So by May of 1920, to get fervor of nationalism, the puppet guy in charge of Haiti, the U.S. put him there, they start Flag Day. So, May 18th, all these Africans from Haiti are celebrating Flag Day as if it happened May 18th in 1803. No, it didn't happen in 1803. It happened 1920 under the occupation. So be careful, what you're celebrating. And just like in Africa, a lot of the customs, traditions, celebrations that we know today started under colonialism. That was to
Yes.
make people forget about the obvious occupation. So that was in 1886, no, October 10th, he was born. Uh, President General, I know we're going to talk about uh, African unity, but I have to share this with you. This is amazing. The president of the United States is speaking today. His name is Joe Biden. He says there are moments in this life when pure, unadulterated evil is unleashed in this world. Really? President General, you talking about pure, unadulterated evil leashed? What about what was done Holocaust to our people? The genocide that's been done to our people. But let's talk about specific events. 1921, May 31st, in Tulsa, Oklahoma. What happened there? January 5th, 1923, 2 years later, in Rosewood, Florida. What happened there? But
To your own citizens.
to your own citizen. Yes, sir, both times. And the President General, what about 1904 to 1908 in Namibia, what the Germans did? You're talking a minimum of 1 million people were killed. And it's not a lot of people in Namibia
Brother
right
Raymond,
now, but the ultimate,
Brother Raymond, the
yes, sir.
wicked Europeans view Germany as being super wicked.
Yes, sir.
So, but say, imagine for them to view Germany as being more wicked than them. Imagine what Germany was doing to our people in Namibia.
You can only imagine. But hold it. But let's talk about the ultimate evil. We're not even going to talk about the transatlantic slave trade. We already know that. But what about in the Congo from 1880 to 1920? They've calculated, President General, a minimum of 10 million Africans killed and butchered in genocide.
Yes,
We
minimum.
know it's at least 25 million. But you want to talk about pure, unadulterated evil? Who are these people? I mean, and then the World War II was already finished. Japan was defeated, and they still bombed them with the atomic bomb. So, brothers and sisters, why it's good to know history. It's a perspective. It's a barometer. It lets you know what's going on. For anybody to say these things, I'm thinking, really, what about what continues to be done? All of the African immigrants, all of our immigrants that get killed trying to leave Africa, or the ones trying to leave IET because of the conditions that they impose. Come on. So, President General, I know we're here discussing uh, African unity today and why we need it and where is it going to take us. But, President General, we as legitimate Pan-Africanists, as Garveyites, as race firsters, it can only be race first. So when anyone is talking, brothers and sisters, always related to us, like, who are these people to say that? I mean, and then, it's enough that they were involved in the transatlantic chattel slavery. That's evil. That's the ultimate evil. Then you continue raping and violating people. And then you blame, and then get this, then you go out and blame the same people that you victimized. You're going to blame them because they were victims. But that's bad in itself. But here's the worst part. All of the benefits, everything that they see and do now is as a result. As Mr. Garvey says, all of these things that you see now, modern day improvements of what we've done, what we did, what we do, and what we will do, what we can do. This is why you need to join the UNIA. But anyway, President General, any words you'd like to share with us?
Yes, if you remember that brother Ben Vereen from Roots, he was actually
I'm vaguely familiar with him. I don't watch those type of things.
yes,
Yeah, I've heard
yes.
of him. Go ahead.
The brother is actually 77 years old today. And I mentioned that to just go back into roots a little bit. Whenever the slave master has any role to do with anything we make, he always makes sure we either put him up as a hero or put us as evil.
Mm.
While Roots addressed a whole lot of issues, the main issue in it was that they showed black people capturing black people because the slave master who was financing that would not have it any other way because he always wanted to put himself out of it, disassociate himself out of it like he never had anything to do it, but then he blamed us for it. So when he gets unconscious people whose objective is to make money, then they're willing to make those things propagating their people a certain way. If every time you make a movie about slavery and you show these kind of images that black people were doing this, after a while everybody start believing it. And that's why most of us at some point they were able to convince us that we participated in this nonsense. But, brothers and sisters, as we have shown you, as we have proven to you, we never participated in this.
Not
And
at all.
these brothers and sisters, we have to stop blaming our ancestors. We have to allow our ancestors to rest in peace. Do not ostracize our ancestors for this nonsense anymore. Brother Raymond, your first black mayor of New York City, your favorite David Dinkins, he's actually 96 years old. If you were to point out anything that David Dinkins did that was good, what would you say that would be, brother?
Oh, I can tell you, under Dickens, he let us go free, meaning we could demonstrate, we can close the city down. In fact, that's why white folks wanted to go after him, because Aristide was overthrown September 30th, 1990. Dinkins just said, go right ahead. I'm not going to do anything. We closed the city down November 11th. And then even before then, on April, I believe it was April 20th, 1990, while Dinkins is mayor, we had the very first big time demonstration where we were demonstrating to denounce what do you call that? The CDC for saying that those Africans from Haiti naturally carry the AIDS virus.
Yeah.
So we crossed Brooklyn Bridge, closed the city down, and then get this: we get the city hall. This is all day going on, and you know how some of us get excited. A lot of us were saying, young people, of course, we're not moving until the mayor gets here. Dinkins comes out, everybody goes ballistics. Everybody goes ballistics. So that's what I remember. I mean, he's got to play his role. We get that. We didn't build the base, as you point out so well. If we don't build the base and they're the ones paying these politicians, well, they have to do what they have to do. But for standing up, for allowing IET, Africans from IET to run President General, I have, of all the things, that's the one thing I say. I give my hat off to Mayor David N. Dinkins, who, by the way, was his undergraduate degrees in mathematics. So he's right after my heart. So that's my recollection, and that's my respect towards David Dinkins.
Yeah, and I went, but I remember how under Giuliani campaigning against says Dinkins, I remember seeing some unethical site by the New York City Police Department.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
it was quite amazing. But then, brothers and sisters, when we have leaders, if we want leaders to be able to represent us, we must always have a strong voice, a strong force. For the leaders should be able to stand on the base that we create. So we have to strive towards that all the time. Brothers and sisters, as we look at Black history, we say we must teach it every single day. And this platform, you will learn something about Black history every day because we must keep our history, our culture, our way of life. We must continue to canonizing our heroes and our martyrs and keep them to instill purpose in future generation. Brothers and sisters, we look at Africa and we look at Africans all over the world. I want to say something to you is that this region here, brother Raymond, is classified now as the sixth region in the African Union. And brothers and sisters, we have a role to play. You see, the people who lived and are living here in North America, they face the wickedest slave master. We're still dealing with the remnants and the evilness of these type of slave master every single day. We see our children being shot down in the street and nothing is done about it. You remember um, Trayvon Martin, who
Mm,
was killed innocently, and people cited
Just
among
carrying Skittles. And
yes,
he's got his Skittles in his hand.
yeah,
This is outrageous.
cited among racial lines, even though you could clearly see that it was unjust, unethical, and they support it anyway. But brothers and sisters, as we look at this region in which we live here, and it has been classified as the sixth region, we have to stop and think and wonder, what role are we supposed to play here? Brothers and sisters, for Black people to be strong all over the world, Africa must be free. And for Africa to be free, it's going to take a campaign by us, the Africans who are living in this region, because while we were invaded here, just imagine what took place under the continent. Be it the Greeks with their what's the religion, be it the German with their religion, be it the English with their religion, be it everybody else who came with a different religion in Africa to convince us. So imagine how divided Africa must be right now. But one thing most of us are clear on here, we're clear about the slave master. We're clear about his purposes, what he has done, and what he will do. Brothers and sisters, if we don't do something now, who knows? In 20 to 25 years, we may be back in shackles. Because as things get harder for him here, as we continue to reach for a piece of the apple that he has that apple, and he sees us reaching for the apple. Brothers and sisters, you have to wonder. When you look at January 6th, and when you see that certain elements are able to march on their house,
President General, they were taking back their government.
Yeah, exactly.
They were taking back their government. They wanted to reclaim their house.
And nobody could do anything to them. And a lot of people stand and condone this as to say that these things are okay. What do you think if these same elements should make a move against us? Who do you think the government is going to support? They're going to support their government. They're going to support their people. So, brothers and sisters, we have to stop and think. We need a place. Just in case we need to leave this place, we have some place to go. And that place, brothers and sisters, must be Africa. But Africa cannot be united until we do it. We're going to take a break. But, Brother Raymond, do you have any quick words to say before we take the break on this topic?
Yeah. Let me just supplement this. President General, are you familiar with all the construction that's being done along Archer Avenue and Jamaica Avenue from like Sutphin,
of course,
to like Parsons?
Yes.
Does anybody really believe that we're going to benefit from that? Just think about it. Long Island Railroad is right there. This is not. Even if they wanted to, it's not. Meaning, just simple things lets us know it's not going to be for us. So, brothers and sisters, we need to be organized. We need to come together and be in unison. So I'm going to leave it right there. Thank you, President General.
Yeah, brothers and sisters, we're going to hold it right there. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back. Brothers and sisters, this is Community Focus. Hold it right there. Community Focus. We'll be right back. Thank you.
The wait is over. What started out as a vision is now reality.
Greetings, brothers and sisters. The Federation of African Caribbean American Restaurant Association is ready. Come and
shop at The Rock.
13205 Merrick Boulevard, inside of Belknap Street.
You need to save money for all your breadfruits, yellow yam, bami, cotchbonic pepper, plantains, bananas, all your fish and meat product. Come to The Rock. Wholesale price every day.
This is Dubmaster Chris, and I'm endorsing The Rock, the restaurant Restaurant Owners Corporation, inside of Belknap Street. Bring your shopping basket and shop till you drop. Save yourself some money and shop at The Rock.
Jamaica Breeze Buffet Restaurant, where it's Thanksgiving every day. Choose from 60 of our best dishes, featuring breakfast all day and a wide selection of Jamaican and Southern style favorites. At Jamaica Breeze, you choose what you want and pay what you want. Don't forget to try our juicy beef and chicken patties. And remember, we also accept Jamaican dollars. Jamaica Breeze now has 2 Queens locations. Our original store at 23202 Merrick Boulevard at the corner of 232nd Street in Laurelton, and our new location at 2136 Mott Avenue at the corner of Redfern Avenue in Far Rockaway. Visit us today and come hungry. You won't be disappointed.
To go back home. This couldn't be my home. It must be somewhere else, or I would kill myself. Cause I can't get no clothes to wear, I can't get no food to eat, I can't get a job to get bread. That's why I've got to go back home. If I've got to go, if I've got to see, I've got to go back home. There is no gladness, nothing but sadness, nothing like a future here. I've got to leave this land, I've got to find myself on some other side. I just can't stand this life of living. Lord, I can't get no clothes to wear, can't get no food to eat, can't get a job to get bread. That's why I've got to go back home. Even if I got to go, I've got to go back home. Even if I got to die, I've got to go back home.
Yes, brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Community Focus Radio on the UNIA ROC Media. Brothers and sisters, this is the platform.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you clear.
Oh, okay, good. I thought I was muted. Go
Brothers
ahead,
and
President.
sisters, this is the platform we're using to reach our people, be it in the Caribbean, be it here in North America, Europe, or Africa. We want to have these discussions with our people. So, brothers and sisters, as we continue to work to do for our people and to liberate our people, brothers and sisters, we have to make some sacrifices. We have to step to the forefront and lead. We need leadership. We need leadership that is honest. Leadership from the ranks of you and I, brothers and sisters. So for that to happen, leadership must come forward from your ranks, brothers and sisters. So if you haven't signed up yet, brothers and sisters, the time is now. Africa is calling. Within about 10 days, we will be in Africa. We will be in the Garden of Eden, and then we will visit the land where time started. Ethiopia, the Lion of Judah. Brothers and sisters, Africa is waiting on her scattered children to rise up. And if they're wondering who trained us, they trained us to a certain extent. The slave master trained us because the slave master was clear. He let us know exactly how and what he feel about us. He didn't hide it. So if we live here and we're not clear how they feel about us,
I think we're sadly mistaken. But I mean, the one good thing, they always let us know where we belong, where we stand, what they think of us. We just don't get the message.
Yes.
Okay. Listen, President General, it's 10 days, so we really do need to meet to discuss the agenda and everything about Kenya and Ethiopia. But President General, before we get into unity, I really have to read this. Can I please read this?
Of course.
Okay. This is from Rasta Soldier. He says, "Greetings, First Assistant President General Brother Duguay. I trust these few lines finds you in good health and spirit. For myself, I'm doing fine. Please extend greetings to the President General and thanks for forwarding on his number. I just can't get used to not listening to the community-focused radio show. So maybe I could contribute something as a topic of discussion. So I was reading this book, The First Rasta, Leonard Howell and the Rise of Rastafarianism.
Yeah, Brother Raymond, you're there? Yes. Greetings, brother and sisters. Yeah, Brother Raymond, Leonard Howell, and the first Rasta. Again, Leonard Howell was a member of the UNIA ACL in the early 20s. He worked closely with Marcus Garvey. And it's in the late 20s that when he realized certain things and he started working, and after heading back to Jamaica, he was able to start the Rasta movement. So Leonard Howell played a great role and made a great difference. And we have to thank brothers like Leonard Howell for what he did because of the sacrifice he made. Are you there, Brother Raymond? You're hearing? Yeah, brother. Yes, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good. Okay, my question is, did Mr. Garvey allow the UNIA's chaplain, George Alexander Maguire, to create a new and independent Christian domination, the African Orthodox Church? And I'm doing a little research before inviting this brother from the Morris Science Temple of America to my service. I lost my line. To my service. In their Holy Quran, under the end of time and the fulfilling of the prophecies, number 3 stated, in these modern days, there came a forerunner who was divinely prepared by the great God Allah, and his name is Marcus Garvey, who did teach and warn the nations of the earth to prepare to meet the coming prophet. Please be, and then he says, okay, good. And then he says, please be mindful that I can no longer get the show on the radio. So please email me your feedbacks, and I will be sending you my question for the Rasta brethren in Shashamani. Jah guide and protect. One God, one aim, one destiny, race first. Your bona fide servant, Rasta soldier. President General, and the brother is doing an incredible amount of research. And this speaks to Mr. Garvey's clairvoyance, and he understood what he was doing. You know, you think about it. Most of our UNI members were Christian. You know, Garvey would go into their church, convert the pastor and the whole congregation. I mean, 30, 40, 50, 60, 80, 100, sometimes 500 at a time. This is how the UNIA grew. But anyway, Garvey's raised first. Garvey clearly gets it. And he understands we're still in church praising white Jesus. That that was never going to fly with Mr. Garvey. It can't go. And so Garvey, as he builds when he gets Josiah Ford and Benjamin Burrell to write the Ethiopian Universal Ethiopian Anthem, Garvey's building this sequentially. The foundation is built. He's got to have his own, not his own, but church. The God has got to reflect him. So that Ethiopian Orthodox, it had to be Ethiopian, because look to Ethiopia, a king will be crowned. So Garvey's going there. He's got this all down packed. He's got to create our own vision of God. So he's got his chaplain general, George Alexander Maguire, And it's not Alexander McGuire who started it. No, this is Garvey instructing him, build me a legitimate form of worship. I know we've had ours, ma'at, that's what we created it. But we're going to have to change the minds of our people. So at the 1924 convention, you should see all the images, Black Madonna, Black Jesus, Black God, Black angels. All of this was so Garvey's got it figured out. So he's got to create his own form of worship. Not his own, but one that reflects us. That's what race first is. Your God better look like you or it's not your God. So that Ethiopian Orthodox was specifically created for that purpose. The only thing that happened is George Alexander McGuire, for whatever reason, well, I know what reason, he went against Mr. Garvey at the end. And that's why they left the UNIA. But Garvey has to, if you're doing all of this, does it make sense to go to church every Sunday and worship white Jesus? I mean, just think about it. It wouldn't make any sense. If you're preaching race first, if you're preaching black is beautiful, if you're preaching the black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather glorious symbol of national greatness, you can't do it. It's just wrong. So that's where Garvey was taking it. And so Rasta Soldier reading about Leonard Percival Howell. By the way, when I was there Thursday, they gave a very good history of Hibbert and Leonard Percival Howell. And that was actually my very first Rastafarian celebration. Very powerful. I mean, at one point, I didn't even want to speak. I said, well, I could go for this. So, President General, I'm going to hold it right there.
Yes, brothers and sisters, and
Okay,
so
I didn't
many.
see you.
Yes,
With this, the way it is, I don't see you sometimes. I only see myself. So I didn't even know you were there.
yes,
But go ahead.
yes. I'm here, brother. Yes. So, so many people have contributed. We thank brother for that letter reaching out to us, Rasta Soldier. We're going to continue to work with them. But brothers and sisters, we have to look to Africa, and
Yes, sir.
we have to realize that Africa doesn't unite. Africa doesn't get free until we put our feet down and make Africa free. Brothers and sisters, you have to realize that the design that they made, the Europeans, is to keep us out of Africa forever. When they first made their plan, they knew Africa was special. They thought Africa was special. But now they're sure. They thought Africa was rich. But they don't have to think anymore. They know because they're looking at all that has been taken out of the underground from Africa for the last 300 years. Has total to less than 1% of what is still in our underground.
My God.
So everyone wants
That's
it.
a lot.
Everyone is willing to fight for it. Everyone want to claim it. So brothers and sisters, we have to stop and think and decide how we are going to keep Africa for the Africans, those at home and those abroad. For us taking the liberty to make a strong bond here, a strong bond, a strong base of unity and keep it solid. Because that is what Africa needs. Africa need African in the 6th region here that we are in. We are considered to be living in the 6th region of Africa. Therefore, brothers and sisters, we have to stand up for the liberation of our people. So as we
President General,
yes.
President General, let me ask you a question. Okay, let's say I believe I buy into this. So when I go back to Africa, I still need my iPhone. I still need all the comforts and all the materialism. In my Movado watch, I got to take it with me. I can't. I mean, I got to tell time. and all of the idiosyncrasies I've learned here that I've been brainwashed, the same nonsense I have here, I got to take it back with me. What do you say to that, sir?
Brothers and sisters, if we had not been derailed from our trajectory, we would have been creating all these things. If we had not been derailed, we would have been ruling the world. So,
President General, what proof do you have that we did all these great things? Show me the proof.
if you read, brothers and sisters, it's in the history books. It's all there. It's on the scribes. It's everywhere. But, they made sure when they brought us here, they made sure that we were not able to read because they know they documented these things. They know the story about Joseph. It's not any Caucasian fella in the Bible. That's Imhotep, a black man from Africa. They know. But they wanted to make sure that we never realized that. They know that Hannibal was as black as you and I, and Hannibal controlled Carthage, and Hannibal controlled a major part of Europe, especially part of Spain and southern Italy. That's why the population in that region is so dark. And the hair are so rough like ours. They know that, but they wanted to ensure that we don't know that. We know that our arts and our sciences, they got from Africa. We know that the math.
Whoa, hold it. But President General, isn't Hippocrates the father of medicine?
That's what they say.
Well, hold it. Pythagoras, we still use his formula. I use it every day. So talk to me about that.
Yeah, brothers and sisters, most of us who take algebra, who have taken it, and those who are taking it now, we know that popular formula, a square plus b square equals c square. And they claim that it was given or it was created by Pythagoras. Brothers and sisters, Pythagoras went to Kemet, Africa, and learned that relationship. Pythagoras came back and taught the Europeans, and he made it clear to them. He told them that he did not create it. He told them that I learned it while I was in Africa. But of course, they cannot ever give this justice, give this truth to African people, because then they would have to admit that they learned from us. And if they are going to keep us as slaves, you cannot keep a man a slave when he knows that he had done all these great things in the past. All these great things. Some people wonder again why the resistance was so strong in Jamaica. Let me give you another reason why the resistance was so strong in Jamaica, because a lot of the people who were taken to Jamaica, for example, most of the ships that came into the Caribbean, we know they went through Curacao. And they were distributed throughout the Americas, of course, and the Caribbean. However, there was a specific ship and a few ships that travel directly from Cape Coast into Black River, Jamaica. So they were brothers and sisters who were being transported directly from Cape Coast nonstop to Black River, Jamaica. And that's how come when they landed in St. Elizabeth, a lot of them were able to escape and go up in the hills that they call a compound, because a compound, Brother Raymond, it's a city in Ghana. So when those brothers and sisters ran away and created their community. They created it with the name that they knew. But a lot of these brothers and sisters, they were chiefs and kings in the villages, so they wouldn't accept slavery. They believed in death before dishonor. So that's why you see the resistance was so strong. Just like in Haiti, at one point, you had more enslaved people who were born in Africa than was born on the island of Haiti. So, Brother Raymond, if you have that, the relationship must be there where there are a lot of kings and chiefs and prominent people who believed in death before dishonor.
President General,
Yes,
our chiefs were servants. They served our people.
of course.
So, President General, that's the beauty of communalism. That's the beauty of Africa and Africans. We're not of the ice, we are of the sun. Here's my point. If our leaders, and they are legitimate leaders because we choose them, we're talking about this is historical, traditional, from time immemorial in Africa. If that's the case, President General, how and why would our leaders ever sell us out? That means it didn't happen.
It didn't happen.
Do you understand what I mean? So, when they say these things, because they would sell themselves out. Yeah. But it's, how we know this? In a lot of their diaries, the white folks, the colonists, and the colonial people, and even the so-called first explorers, when they would go into places like the Congo, they get there, they would write in their journal how disgusted they were. Like, here they are, big time white folks with military hardware looking to kill our people, and they always had to wait. They couldn't believe anybody in the village, and they would complain. The more elder the person, the more, let's say, walking with a cane, they would always go first. They would always complain, like, look at this. These so-called black leaders, these calling them savages because they allow everybody to go in front of them. But what the white folks will never get, our concept of leadership, of leading, is communal. It's to serve our people. So before any decision can be made, we have to ask all. It's got to be like a council of elders, council of women, council of the community. So meaning, and they know this. I read this. I know this because I read their books, their journals, their complaints. They know this. And now they're going to tell us these same leaders that put the people first, that only existed to serve. In fact, you got to be a leader by the more work you did. Like the more work you do, the better, the more people accept you as a leader. So if that's the case, and they know that, for them to come out and say, well, black people, your leaders, your chiefs sold you out, that can't be. This is the continuation of the false dichotomy. And that's what's so evil about these people. They're bad. Okay, they do evil things, they're evil, this and that. But even after doing their evil, they continue their evil. Now they blame they blame us for just being victimized. And then all of their benefits. Now there's some talk about reparations. Brothers and sisters, if somebody's lied to you 99 times, are they really going to tell you the truth 100 times? I'm going to leave it right there, sir. But that's where I stand.
Yes, brothers and sisters, and they all played a role. Look at and Christianity. We're going to talk about Christianity. We're going to talk about religion, because if we're looking at the Catholic, which is the master Christian group, and brothers and sisters, Christianity came about when 2,000 years ago, approximately.
Yeah, approximately.
We existed thousands of years before that. So how come they just developed the formula and then tell us that their formula is the formula? And then from the Catholic, you have so many branches that have been created over the world. They even created religion here in Jim Crow era. And we are willing to accept these things, brothers and sisters. Before we accept their way of life, we need to study, and that's why we are teaching here. That thing about Christianity and the Bible, we're going to address it very soon. And our big question is the Bible the word of God or the work of man? We will look into that.
President General, one time I was on the Haitian radio and that question was asked to me. So I said, you know what? Go get God, bring him to me. Right now, I want to see him tell me these words. Simple as that. Come on. Leave it. Let's leave it there. Okay, I'm going to leave it right there.
Yeah. So we're going to address that. But brothers and sisters, if we're listening, we don't have time for the nonsense. We're in community building, race building. Brothers and sisters, each and every one of us, we need us. We can't do this by ourselves. We don't have time to talk bad about other people, but we will speak the truth. Unfortunately, oftentimes when you speak the truth, it indicts someone else negatively. However, truth crushed to the earth must rise again. So,
Yes, sir.
brothers and sisters, if you're listening, take this serious. For us to be able to help our future generations, you must be involved. For African countries to be able to defend and support and lead African people, they need a base to stand on. Let's give them this base to stand on. Let's organize 1,000,000 of us again under the banner of the red, black, and green. It doesn't start with 1,000,000 people. Brothers and sisters, it starts with you and I.
Yes, sir.
And commit yourself today. Join our ranks today that we may build a better tomorrow, that we may create a platform that the sun will never, and I emphasize, brothers and sisters, will never set on. Brother Duguay.
You know, President General, there's one big topic we're going to have to discuss right now. But before we do that, you know, I used to think you made that up. I swear to you, the sun shall never set. I said, oh, my Duncan did it. So after I got to know Garvey and Garveyism, I said, oh my God, President General is a plagiarizer.
It's all about
so
Garvey,
wrong.
brother.
I thought you did it.
It's all about Garvey, brother. It's all about Garvey. It's an embarrassment if we don't promote his work.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, President General, you know what this week is? It was 8 years ago that you started Community Focus.
Of course.
You realize that?
Yes, brother.
Yeah, you called me up end of September telling me, oh, we're going on the radio. And, I'm very reluctant. Yes. No, we got to do it. We're going to preach Garvey and Garveyism. I'm like, yes. The first question out of my mouth is, where's the money coming from? And he said, don't worry about money, man. You're always worried about money. Money will take care of itself. He said, don't worry about the dollars. They'll come. I said, yeah, but I still like to know where the money's coming from. He said, of course, Jamaica Breeze. So, President General, what do you have to say about 8 years? Community Focus. Now it's part of the UNI Rock Media.
Well, this platform here, Community Focus, has afforded the great opportunity of meeting some great Africans. This program here has helped to transcend my personal business, which led into the creation of our business, The Rock. So I am grateful and I'm thankful. This program here has allowed us to meet, as I said, some great Africans that we work and live with these great Africans today as our brothers and sisters. No longer just people just passing each other in the middle of the day, but brothers and sisters who are serving under the banner of one God, one aim, one destiny. This platform here has allowed me to exercise my true purposes in life. Brothers and sisters, not many people gets the opportunity to live his or her purposes. And I have to say that along with this program here, it affords me the opportunity to live, love, and continue to work with African people the world over. And I am eternally grateful.
Let me ask you a question, President General. And I'm going to cite some individuals we've met on the radio. But let me ask you a question. You start the radio October 2015.
Yes.
I call in every day. Every Monday and Tuesday was you and Lady B. And then I think by November and by December, you asked me, you know what, let's make it a trio. And then starting the new year, we used that platform to promote the Schomburg event. I mean, it was really through the medium that we promoted the Schomburg event. And my question to you is, in your mind, how much time do you think it was going to take me to leave white folks? I mean, since I met you, you were always saying, brother, you got to stop working for the man. You got to do righteousness. But once I get on the radio, what was your wager? Like, how long before he's got to exit? Go ahead. I'm dying to know that answer. Go ahead.
Well, I could start seeing it developing, even though you didn't do it as yet. I could see that your heart was not in it because of how upset you were. I could just see that your heart was not in it. And it was just a matter of time. No matter what it is they're doing for us, we can do better for ourselves. So I knew it wouldn't take you long. And because of your mindset and your beliefs, I could see you continuing to work there.
You know, President General, after you took me to Africa at the inauguration, 2018, January, I'm there sinking this in the stadium. You know, President Ware is giving his speech. So I said, what am I doing? So I said, well, first I need some African clothes. After we went back in March, I said, I need to exit. Right after then, I kept insisting on a buyout. They wouldn't give it to me. They were laying everybody off, but just refused to. I suspect it's because I asked for the buyout that they weren't going to give it to me.
Yeah.
But whatever, it never happened. And then just so the luck of my heart condition came in, I said, good, let me get out of here. I wanted to leave and exit. But, you know, getting ready for the radio every day, you know, well, every Monday and Tuesday, as I would take the train from downtown to head to the studios, it was such a pleasure, like, to do research. I mean, that was natural for me. I used to look forward to going to the radio every Monday and Tuesday. It's like, oh, okay, get rid of this job. Anyway, but starting 2018, yeah, I said, what am I doing? So I said, how do I get out of this place? And, you know, I wanted to exit so they wouldn't bother me. You know, because a lot of times, you know, after being in a place 25 years, for whatever reason, some people gravitate to you. And the way I left, it was the best way. Like, don't talk to me. I'm not talking to you.
Very good.
But anyway, having said that, President General, you know, let me tell you who I think of when I think of the community focused radio. Number one, it's got to be Patrick McDowell.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes, yes.
I mean, he heard it. He came in. Collington Bryce.
Yes.
He said, I was driving the truck, and he said, that's exactly what I wanted in life. Jafari, he said he heard it. He had to come. And then, brother, what about Rasta Soldier?
Yes.
And the brothers in East Jersey State, they know every episode. I mean, you have to see this. They remind me of the episodes. And so many people we've met along the way, but these are the names.
But so what about Brother Vic?
Oh, gosh. I even forgot about him. But Kweku, the ultimate, this is the best traveler. the best hangout partner you can have. You know, and Jimmy Cliff came on the
Vic,
radio.
so you know what, Vic? You know what Vic told me? Vic told
Go
me that
ahead.
after he heard about us, they told him that he could go by the restaurant, Jamaica Breeze, to see me. So he said he went there and I wasn't there. And then I think maybe Matthew or someone showed him a picture of me. And you know that picture that I have up there? I'm wearing a European suit. And Vic said, nah, man, it couldn't be this man. Nah, it couldn't be this man. So, Vic, you see, that's the reason why you have to be careful about your attire. Your
Yes, sir.
attire must fit who you are.
Yes, sir.
Yes, everything
Yeah.
that you
So
do must fit who you are. Go ahead, brother.
yeah, no, but just think about it. 8 years, you know, we met. I mean, we built, we promoted Schaumburg through that radio. And then from Schaumburg morphed into the Rock, you know, and then we even built the Brooklyn division. Remember when we wanted to open up Brooklyn? Well, Brooklyn always existed. I know that, but it had been dormant. We resurrected Brooklyn through the radio.
Yes.
I mean, and then so many events we've had, we promoted through the radio. Remember in the 2017 convention, we had that bus ride through Harlem.
Yes.
This brother, I forgot his name, he heard us on the radio. He came on the bus ride. Man, the guy he had so much and he loved it. And he was reminding me of everything. Now, what about Brucey French?
Yes.
We met him on the radio. I mean, there's so many individuals. In fact, the other day, I finally met him at the Garvey Parade. And so he said he was coming. When he saw me, he embraced me. He was so happy. And so he's heard us so many times. But the Barons, Scarlett, Baron Scarlett and his son, they met us through the radio. And there was a brother up in Mount Vernon. Remember, he bought a share. He had to come down. He just said, you know, I don't have much, but please take this.
Yes.
So, President General, what do you have to say about all of that?
Yeah, well, this is what we do, and we are inspired by these brothers and sisters who have done these things and came along and making that difference. You know, I think Jafari heard us on the radio as well.
Yes.
So we just have to continue the work.
And then I think he stopped at, we used to have those programs at PS 270.
Yeah.
Across the street from Jamaica Breeze. So he dropped by, and the rest is history. So, President General, that was a very good investment. I knew where the money was coming from, but I just wanted to hear it from you. And that was money well spent by Jamaica Breeze Restaurant. So, President General, you ever sit down and say to yourself, you know, what if our listeners, our customers, our members really buy into this? We can run Southeast Queens.
Of course.
I mean, we all live like most of us in Southeast Queens. We can run it. I mean, there's 500,000 Black people in Southeast Queens. Just think about it. You know, those are the type of things I dream about all the time. Okay, I know it's getting ready. We have to close up, but last question, President General, our documentary on the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Are we doing this for money? Do we expect profits and make money out of this thing?
Not at all. We want to spread the prophet name and the prophet work. We want everyone to know what the prophet did and how he did it.
Okay, there you have it. Okay, President General, I could stay here another hour. It doesn't bother me. But I guess here's the other thing. As soon as we have the telephones working, I was waiting for the phones to work to discuss what has the community focus meant. So, but as soon as the phones are up and running, that's going to be our first topic of conversation.
Of course.
So our people can call in. Those have been listening to us,
yes.
And especially the new ones, but the old timers who could really refresh our memory, all of their episodes. You know, we had a lot of episodes. The one we did on ancient Kemet,
yes,
that was excellent. But the one that really, the ones we did in IET, yeah, that's important too. But the one that really put me in the spotlight to understand this is something serious, that was the show we did on Michael Manley.
Yes.
Everybody called in. I mean, they were blowing up. The what do you call that? The phones were blowing up. Everybody was calling, and we had to take it an extra day. We even took it a second week. So these things are important.
Yes.
So, President General, our phones will be working soon. Yes.
Yes, of course. So we'll be able to communicate with you, brothers and sisters. You will be able to call in. So, brothers and sisters, just keep on keeping on.
Okay, there you have it. Okay, President General, is this? Are we going to exit now, or do you want to stick another 2 hours?
Time to exit.
I can do this all night. Okay, all of you out in UNIA Rock Media Community Focus Land, all of you beautiful Black and noble race members of this race, all of you legitimate, true Garveyites, I would say pull out your flag, which I always carry. I never leave home without it. I can't leave home without it. So please repeat after me. Africa.
Africa.
For the Africans.
For the Africans.
Those at home.
Those at home.
And those abroad.
And those abroad.
One God.
One God.
One aim.
One aim.
And one destiny.
One destiny.
Long live Jean-Jacques Dessalines, Carlos A. Cooks, the Honorable Marcus Mosiah God, your President General, the Honorable Michael R. Duncan, Africa, the UNIA, and here we go, Kenya and Ethiopia. See you Saturday at the Math Academy. Have a good night, sir.
Long live.
The Community Focus Show is brought to you by Jamaica Breeze.
Rally round the